Hey guys, and welcome to the Slideways NASCAR News YouTube show. This week we're going to be talking about everything Atlanta, and what a race we had. Holy smokes. Hands down, probably the best race all year. And it's probably safe to say that the summer Atlanta race has produced the best race um, of the season this year and last year. Um, and it begs to question, with Atlanta being a drafting style track now, what is stopping NASCAR teams, whatever, from us having this type of race at Talladega and Atlanta? I'm sorry, Talladega and Daytona. If we could get this type of racing at Daytona and Talladega, oh my lord, those races would be incredible. But uh, I think NASCAR is working on some stuff. I think we'll see that at the Daytona race in a few weeks. But if we could get this type of racing back at Daytona and Talladega, holy smokes. You want to talk about like old school drafting races? This is exactly what this Atlanta race was. Drivers could make moves. Um, you know, some drivers would try to pull out by themselves. They'd be able to hang for a minute, but then the momentum for the other line would take over. Um, if we could get this on Daytona and Talladega, holy smokes, that'd be fantastic. I know they use a different type of package or whatever on Daytona and Talladega, but if we could get anything close to this at Daytona and Talladega, holy cow, it would be an amazing improvement to the racing at Daytona and Talladega. But this was the best race of the year, just by far. Um, and not every track needs to be a drafting track. That's not, I'm not even going to go and say that it needs to be, but um, as far as competitiveness, um, overall, keeping your interest in the race, hands down, this has been the best race all year. Um, so absolutely amazing race. I did have to go back and watch it because I had to be up early on Monday, so I couldn't finish the race on TV. So I did rewatch it between Monday night and yesterday. I did catch highlights, so I knew what happened, but just wanted to watch the race myself, see what was going on. Um, but I mean, an amazing race. Um, Definitely, Atlanta is definitely the hottest race on the schedule right now. So, with that being said, if I've gone to two Atlanta races and both of them have been amazing, but I went to the spring race, which it was still a good race, but it wasn't anything like it was last night or Sunday night. So, but my advice to you, if you're anywhere near Atlanta within driving range, buy a ticket, get to the race. It is a very, very fun race to watch in person. Um, so definitely get out to a race at Atlanta if you are anywhere near Atlanta. I mean, even if you're not, buy a ticket, get a plane ticket, go out to the race. But if you are anywhere near Atlanta within driving range, buy a ticket, go to the race. It's a great race, great facility. So definitely recommend getting out to that race. All right, Ryan Blaney, holy smokes, dude. Dominating performance, probably his best performance of the year as far as staying out front, staying there. His pit crew did a decent job. Earlier this year he was having his pit crew was letting him down a lot, but an all around great performance by that team. Um, just an absolute master class in managing a race. I believe he ended up leading 171 laps. So great job to Ryan and the crew. Definitely, Blaney is starting to catch fire a little bit. I believe this was his seventh, maybe his eighth top 10 in the last 11 races. So he's catching fire. Been the best Ford all year. I think we talked about that last week, I think, but he's been the best Ford all year long. Consistently fast almost every week, a couple bad weeks here and there. but he's been consistently the best Ford every week. So congratulations, Ryan Blaney. An amazing race. I mean, guy had a rocket ship, absolute rocket ship. So a couple things that happened in the race. You had the Bubba Wallace Ty Gibbs thing. Ty didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. From what I saw, it looks like Bubba just came down a little too late. It was a bad block. If you watch the video, Ty did let off to try not and hit him, but unfortunately, Ty spun him out. I mean, the grand scheme of things, Bubba was able to recover and work his way back up through the field. Would have had a third place finish, but he was given a penalty for going below the yellow line. So that begs the question: was his penalty deserved? So I saw someone I followed on Instagram. It said that NASCAR had said that they gave the penalty because of the intent to advance his position, not that he advanced his position. So I believe that he did go below the yellow line just barely. If he advanced his position, yes, he should have been penalized. But in my opinion, NASCAR needs to be more consistent with this call, because in the past, it's been if you advance your position, you get penalized, not the intent of advancing your position. So if Bubba advanced his position, yes, he should have been penalized. If he did not advance his position, he shouldn't be. In the grand scheme of things, at the end of the race, yes, he did advance his position, but in that moment, it did not necessarily cause him to advance his position. He advanced his position at the other end of the track whenever Carson was fading. Now, was it fair for him to be penalized? Fair, I would say yes. But if you're going to come out and say that we did not penalize him based on him advancing his position, but the intent, that's where a lot of the issues comes from. Just got to be, it needs to be black and white. It can't just be as they say, balls and strikes call where, in baseball, like an umpire can call a strike, but it's actually a ball. Well, now they can challenge that, but, or like in soccer. I know a lot of my followers probably don't watch soccer, but sometimes a referee can call a foul when maybe it necessarily wasn't a foul. With a driver going below the yellow line, it needs to be, black or white. Is it be them advancing a position they get penalized, or if the intent, or you have to give a position? I don't know. Was it fair for him to get penalized? Yes, because given the rules that they go by, he misjudged his move. He went down way too far. I see both sides of it, but is it fair for him to be penalized? Yes. But NASCAR's explanation on it, they're not doing themselves any favors with, especially Bubba fans or Toyota fans. But if it's for intent, you need to put it in your rule book. If it's for them advancing their position, we need to leave it at that. Because I hate to bring this up, but as a junior fan, it worked out in our favor. There's a race in Talladega where Junior somewhat went below the yellow line and he didn't get penalized. So which one is it? Now, granted, all four of Junior's tires did not go below the yellow line either, and you could argue that Bubba didn't completely go below the yellow line. It's very close. If you watch, if you slow that down when that move comes, it's hard to really tell if all four tires went below the yellow line. So that needs to be something and maybe they did. I don't I don't know for sure, but if you watch the video, it's very close to see whether or not he had all 4 tires below the yellow line or not. It's a toss up. From one angle, it looks like he didn't. From another angle, it looks like he does. It's hard to tell. But was it fair for him to be penalized? Yes. The explanation that was given, we got to be better there. All right. So this whole week, all we've been talking about is Carson Hocevar, Zane Smith. I feel kind of bad for Zane Smith. Goes on a podcast and he gets his stuff kind of thrown in his face, or put on the spot, and maybe he shouldn't have worded what he said the way he did. I'd just kind of not as been used some of the words that he used. But I mean, if Zane Smith is saying this, there's a lot of other drivers that probably feel the same way about Carson. I mean, you can even listen to Denny's podcast. He said that in the drivers meeting, they said nobody's going to push Carson. Or a lot of drivers said they will not push Carson. And so the thing with Carson Hocevar, and everybody's been talking about him all week. You have people that are praising Carson. You have people that are bashing Carson. I'm going to do a little bit of both here. Carson is an extremely talented race car driver. Extremely talented. He's going to win more races. If Spire keeps going up the way they are, I mean, if they, Carson could be a potential Cup Series champion. He's got all the potential for that. He's fast. He's, very driven, but he's not earning the respect of his peers. And as a race car driver, whether it's NASCAR, F1, IndyCar, whatever it is, you have to have the respect of your peers because you race them every single week. This isn't like football or baseball where you may not see that team every week. In NASCAR and racing, you see these guys every single week. And we all know that race car drivers have a very, they don't forget things. Okay. So, like I say, Connor's very talented. Carson is super talented. Probably one of the best young prospects we have in the sport. But, I mean, he's great for the sport. We get a lot of, a lot of publicity from him. Fans love him, especially younger fans. But he's going to have to learn how to earn the respect of his peers because right now it's not there at all. And Sunday showed that that end of the race, nobody was going to push him. Nobody was going to push him. And, we all want to try to compare him to Dale Sr. We need to stop with that. He's nowhere near what Dale Sr. was. Here's my reasoning for that. Yes, Dale Sr. when he was first starting, he wrecked a lot of cars. He took out a lot of people. But he also learned how to control it. And also, he had the respect of his peers. If he took somebody out, I mean, like Denny Hamlin said, he would be like, he would make it seem as though he didn't intentionally do it, and he made it seem as though you guys were friends. Carson's come out and said, I don't have friends on the race. I'm not friends with any drivers. To me, there's nothing wrong with having friends in, like, being friends with the drivers that you're with. On the racetrack, different story, okay? When we put the helmet on, we're not friends anymore. I'm good with that. But you have to be able to coexist with these guys. And right now, Carson is just out on an island by himself. Very, very few drivers respect him. He's very brash, which is fine. I mean, Kyle Busch was brash. And people loved him for it. People hated him for it. It's kind of the same thing with Carson. But even during those times, Kyle still had the respect of his peers. I don't know how. I've never met Carson. I've only seen what I've seen on TV. But if a lot of drivers feel that way, maybe what Zane Smith had some weight to it. I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there. Like I said, I don't know for sure. But we can't keep comparing Carson to Dale Sr. because one, Dale Sr. was doing that and winning races. Carson is not. Oh, well, Dale was in a better ride. Not necessarily. His first couple of years, he lost his ride. His team, the team he was driving for, went under. He was cut from his ride. He was still winning races. Spire's got a lot of money. They ain't going nowhere. So, and their equipment is getting a lot better. So, Dale Sr. was winning races in lesser equipment and in an era that it was tougher to win as well. And I know a lot of you may disagree with me on that, but that's just the way it is. So, yes, Carson, extremely talented, going to be a star in the sport for years. But we need to pump the brakes a little bit on the Dale Sr. comparisons with the greatness of him. Like, he's won one race, and it was at a wild card race at Talladega. Not trying to take anything away from his win, but it was at Talladega, where if you're one of the top 2 cars or top 3 cars in the double file drag race, you're going to win. You have a chance to win. So he was in the right place, right time. And I'm not trying to hate on the kid. I'm not. But he has got to rein in this. I don't even know what to call it. His interview on Sunday afternoon, telling the other drivers to step up to the plate and bring it on. Bro, you've only won one race. Don't tell the other drivers to bring it on. They're yes, you're in the chase currently, but you're also very inconsistent. Your pit crew's inconsistent. And that's not all on you, but I mean you're either finishing top 5, top 10, or you're 20th. The consistency, you're having a good season, but you're not a championship contender. So those drivers in the top 5, top 6 could tell you, why don't you bring it? For him to say that, they are stepping up to the plate. They are finishing in the top 5, top 10 every week. What are you doing? You've got one win. And it was, like I said, at Talladega. You know, Carson, I don't know. You have to have the respect of your peers. Whether you want to be friends with them or not, you still have to have their respect. And right now, you don't have that. So there's going to come a day you're going to mess with the wrong driver, and then you're going to learn your lesson. I don't know who that driver will be, but somebody's going to teach you a lesson, and it'll be a hard one. I like that he's aggressive. We need more aggressive drivers, but there's also other drivers in this series that are aggressive, and they still race with respect, and they have the respect of their peers. Joey Logano, very aggressive driver, respected by his peers. Denny Hamlin, very aggressive driver, respected by his peers. Kyle Larson, aggressive, respected by his peers. I could go on and on. Brad Keselowski, aggressive, respected by his peers. you know, you can be aggressive and still be respected by your peers. And right now, Carson has very little respect from other drivers. You have to race with respect to be given respect. So, my little rant is over. Went a little longer than I wanted it to, but I want to see the kid do well, but we got to pump the brakes a little bit. He's got to learn. I mean, he's great for younger fans, and like I said, I think he's great for the sport, but he's got to. In order for him to be successful, he's going to have to earn the respect of his peers, not the fans. The fans are what help him have a ride. The drivers can dictate whether he wins races or not. So, moving on. So obviously, Ryan Blaney won the race, and then now he is 63 points out of first place. So that begs the question. I can't remember how many races we have until the chase. But can Ryan Blaney win the regular season championship? I think he can. It's going to be tough. He will definitely get to second. I think Tyler Reddick is kind of flailing a little bit. I definitely see Ryan Blaney finishing second in the regular season championship. But I do see the potential for Ryan Blaney to reel in Denny Hamlin and win the regular season championship. I could see it happening. Ryan Blaney is running extremely well. We talked about it just a little bit earlier. And I know you guys, I said it in the last video, we were all like, oh, Tyler Reddick's running away with this thing, blah, 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 all of this. Tyler Reddick has blown the lead to Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin built the lead. It only takes a few bad races for that lead to go away. So I believe these next few weeks could get very interesting when it comes to the points battle. So do I believe Ryan Blaney can catch Denny Hamlin and win the regular season championship? I do. Is it probable? Maybe not, because Denny Hamlin's on a tear as well. But Ryan Blaney has potential to catch Denny Hamlin. And if he does, watch out. Because I think your championship favorites right now are the top three. Hamlin, Reddick, and Blaney. But I just feel Ryan Blaney's firing on all cylinders. He's, just cool. And everybody, it's weird. Even these top 10s, it feels like nobody's talking about him. But it would be interesting to see if Ryan Blaney can pull off the regular season championship, especially being down that many points. I think it would be a very impressive run. With that being said, let's switch gears. If Denny Hamlin or Tyler Reddick do not win the regular season championship, or the championship for that matter, because they're the two favorites right now. If they don't win the regular season championship or the championship overall, is that a choke job on both of them? And with Denny Hamlin, if Denny Hamlin doesn't win the championship this year, does he win one at all? I think this one, if Denny Hamlin doesn't win the championship this year, I think this one will sting more than what happened last year, because he's been the best car all year. I think if Denny does not win the championship this year, one, he will never win a championship, and two, this one will hurt more than what happened last year. So, not saying I want either one of those to happen, but it's just something to think about. All right, last little thing about Atlanta. The William Byron Rudy Fugle exchange. Holy smokes, y'all. My question to you guys is that something that we need to be paying attention to? Because, William Byron led quite a few laps at Chicagoland. They faded. They've led laps and faded. They haven't won a race. The only Hendrick driver to win a race this year is Chase Elliott. So is that, just a driver and crew chief being frustrated at the race, or is there more to the story? Be something to keep an eye out over the next few weeks. Seems like there's a lot of tension there, in my opinion, because Rudy Fugle and William Byron, they usually work pretty good together. That was a pretty heated exchange there. Might be something interesting to keep an eye on. Is there some fractures in the Hendrick camp? I don't know. Be interesting to see. All right, so this weekend we are rolling into North Wilkesboro for the first time for a points race since 1996. And just wondering what we can expect. I definitely think we can see some tempers. It's a short track, 400. I think it's 400 laps around that little track. Definitely think we're going to see some tempers flaring. Style of racing, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be hot. It's going to be slick. Definitely some beating and banging, I think. So, which is going to lead to the tempers. And then my last little thing here is drivers to watch: Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano. They've won the last races here. They performed very well here. I think it's going to be a good race. If it's anything like the All-Star race was last year, I think we're going to have some good racing. Hopefully we have some tire fall off, things like that. Hopes it makes it interesting. But I'm excited that Wilkesboro finally gets a points race. It's back. I hope we can keep it. Wilkesboro is a very historic track. I believe it deserves to stay on the schedule. It's probably the best short track race we had all last year. So hopefully it stays on the schedule. Hopefully have a good race this weekend. And yeah, we'll be here to talk about it next week. And I thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, like, subscribe, share this with your friends. And hope you guys have a great week and enjoy the race. And as always, stay Slideways.